Am I going to pay attention to what I want, or am I going to pay attention to what I don't want? Social media is about quantum mechanics. Social media is a big collective subconscious, and I feel like there's always so much talk about how social media used to be, but I feel like the biggest thing that we should be talking about is how we used to approach social media, because unfortunately the way the algorithm works is if we develop disinterest in authenticity and we start to value inauthenticity more, then there's going to be more incentive for people to be inauthentic and glamorize and exaggerate or just do triggering content. And it's because like these are things that you deep down are bringing more attention to. It's kind of like a weird sector, a weird section of deciding, am I going to pay attention to what I want, or am I going to pay attention to what I don't want? Everybody makes this argument on Instagram. They're like, oh my gosh, it feels so weird to post on Instagram. I get 3 likes if I post a sandwich. Who the fuck gives a shit about how many likes you get on posting a sandwich? This is the difference. Before, social media was definitely community driven, but now we have to post the things that we want to see, the things that we want to do. The algorithm no longer pushes the sandwich, really. I mean, but if you think about it, there's a lot of people that's making a lot of food content at the same time, but the algorithm might not push you posting a sandwich that much. But it's not even about that. It's about you having fun. And it started to become more voyeuristic. Instead of it being about you having fun, it's about how are people going to think about me having fun. Absolutely disrupts the process, which absolutely is counterintuitive. And I think it's interesting, and I think we have to evaluate what we feel about social media and how we have contributed to it. So with that being in mind, when I say social media is about quantum mechanics, social media, I feel, is very, very much connected to how you feel about yourself, your self-worth. It's very much connected to your ability to have consistency. It's very much connected to predictability. It's very much connected to formulas. It's very formulaic by design, right? But we are the people that tell the algorithm what we want to see, whether involuntarily or not. If you interact with a video that you hate, guess what? You're probably going to see more videos in that same format, because the algorithm doesn't calculate hate, it calculates what you interact with and what you watch all the way to the end. So in order for us to go back to the way social media used to be, we would have to value certain creators that bring creativity back, that bring authenticity back, that bring care back, that actually give a fuck about you, that bring truth back, and honesty and integrity. We would all have to collectively decide, this is who we want to share energy with. This is who we want to interact with. This is who we want to pay attention to, right? So it's like everybody with these oh, I miss 2016 IG. It's like in order to bring 2016 IG back, we would all have to make a collective conscious shift in that direction. Now, when I say so, I wanted to elaborate on what I meant by social media is about quantum physics on a certain, like a user aspect. When you use social media, you are performing for an audience that may or may not be there. But based on your faith, it determines whether or not the audience may or may not be there. For example, when I was growing up in high school, I was very much focused on academics, but I always had a deep passion for fashion. I had a deep passion for beauty. I had a deep passion for designing, fashion, magazines, all of that. I had a deep passion for all of that. I always knew that I have a brand called PSD. Eventually turned into PSD the label. I was always sketching in my sketchbook. And I would tell my friends who have seen me in the aspect of being extremely academic, or like my peers and stuff that were in the extremely academic classes, I would be like, hey guys, like, my plan is to get straight A's this semester because I know know I will be rewarded greatly for it. But when I tell you, when I get out of school, I'm gonna start my own brand, this is what I mean. And you know, my classmates, like my peers, my friends, they would be like, okay, that's cool, like that's dope. But like now to actually see something that I said was going to happen in front of them, they're like, oh my god, like it's so funny because sometimes I talk with peers from school and they're like, oh my god, like you're doing everything you said you would. I'm like, yeah, exactly. I mean, even though to me it could be so much bigger, it could be so much better, I could put so much more time into it. Yeah, I'm doing everything that I said I would, and that's an example of the faith that I had in myself. Like, and it wasn't even about faith, there just was no other choice for me. This is something that I always wanted and I could always see to the end. And I say that to say, because I had the thought inside of my head, follow me here, because I had the thought inside of my head and the actual faith behind it, my conviction in self, my love, my passion for this one thing, and my virility to pursue it, right? Because I had all that whole combination, somehow it created the environment for me to thrive in these conditions. With these conditions, it created an environment for me to thrive. Beforehand, I didn't have the environment because I was in school. Like, I mean, I would use it in different opportunities that I could. Like, I would sell clothes to friends or whatever the case in little small ways. But me having the conviction, the faith, and the determination to do what I said that I wanted to do, it created the condition for me to survive and thrive in an environment that was made for me. I believe social media is just a highway and of quantum mechanics. The late 80s, early 80s, 90s, 2000s generations have contributed greatly to this social media highway and have opened the door for other generations to be able to use and access it, because this is beyond something that they could ever that they could have imagined. I say that to say social media is about quantum mechanics. If you are someone that deeply wants to pursue something, the quickest way, the best way to do it is through the interwebs, right? But if you bite back on that information, if you pull away from sharing the things that you know, it creates a rigidity, it creates ice, it creates resistance from not even yourself, not even the things that you want, but the entire collective subconscious. When you create a tension between the things that you want to do and what you are doing right now, which is something that you don't want to do, it creates a tension in the collective unconscious. For example, people say it's like literally unfair to win on social media nowadays. The algorithms is like you have to put out something every day. It's like the algorithm, you have to put out something every 5 seconds, every hour on the hour. That doesn't make sense. That's so unfair. Well, guess what? Let me tell you why people experience growth when they put out every hour on the hour, because people are addicted to their phones. Now, if people weren't addicted to their phones and only got on their phones on Sunday, then I bet you the collective subconscious would shift, the algorithms would change so that every Sunday it would be a content day. Everybody would get on their phones and look at what so-and-so is sharing. But because everybody has a 24-hour loop, they have 24-hour access, and for the most part use a big chunk of that 24 hours, boom, every hour, if you want to see it insurmountable growth, right? But I say that to say, for the people, this is really for, we feel, oh yeah, social media isn't the same. Social media, has taken a turn for the worse. It used to be fun here. Now it's just drama. Now it's just status. Now it's just this, that, and the third. We have to take a look at ourselves and in what way in the collective subconscious are we contributing to social media and the quantum mechanics and it only being about these things. Why are we secret elitists? Are we secretly obsessed with how something appears versus how it feels? What is it? Social media is a quantum landscape, okay? And it's up to you to decide what you're adding to the collective subconscious, because it is going to become in the mainframe. And we have to take responsibility as to how we're playing a part into social media, whether we are promoting things that are harming the collective unconscious, collective subconscious. or whether we are promoting things that are healing the collective subconscious. Yeah, so that's all I wanted to say. Definitely I want to know your thoughts on how you feel about this, and how do you contribute to the collective subconscious of social media, and if you agree or disagree on whether or not social media is about quantum mechanics. I also would love if you guys follow me at 444 on YouTube. Follow, subscribe if this is your thing. You like my little videos where I'm coming to you as a friend. And I will see you very soon.